What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be learning how to play the Spellbinder trading card game. So let's get right into it. First thing you want to do is in the server you're going to want to go to the channel that says deck list, right? It's in that category of Spellbinder resources. You're going to go to the deck list, you're going to pick a deck you like, import it like a regular untapped deck, and after that we will talk about how to actually play the game. So let's get into playing the game. You're going to start with one wizard card in play. You're going to have your 5-card treasure deck, which I use my second deck for, and then you're going to have a 15-card spell deck, which will be your main deck here. To start the game, both players are going to have their decks out, they're going to have the wizard cards on the field, and they're going to determine who goes first. So you can do a coin flip, you can do a high roll, however you want to do it. In this case, we'll just say I go first. To start the game, I will draw 7 cards from my 15-card spell deck, and then I will gain 1 mana, since it's the first turn of the game, of any color. So I will choose to gain, and in this case, to hold mana, I think it's easiest to go to this little square here, to add a counter, and then just to name it. So in this case, I'm playing the Earth deck, so I'm going to want a bunch of Earth mana. So I'm just going to say Earth, and I'm going to take it up by 1, because I get 1 to start the first turn of the game. With that, I can't do much. Right, this will be my hand. That's the start phase. We refresh our hands up to 7, then we gain 1 mana, or 2 mana on a regular turn, but 1 on the first turn, and then we go into now the main phase. During the main phase, you can play any number of spells you would like. So, I only have 1 mana. I can't play a whole ton here. I can play Duplication with my 1 mana, and the Duplication says to add mana of the same type that was spent, and adds 2 of it. So I turn 1 Earth into 2 Earth, essentially. This will then go to my discard pile, which in this case is the recycle pile. And if I were to play a treasure here, like for example, let's say I had an ancient scroll, this would do its effect, and then it would go to the expel pile to be in the destroy pile, because treasures do not go to the recycle pile as shown in the rulebook. If you have any questions about anything that I do in this, check the rulebook, that also has it in written form, but this is for people who learn better by visual. So, you gain your 2 mana from the Duplication. I could then play like a spell study or a spell shield. Probably a spell shield's a good play here. Spend my 2 mana, and then I'm out of mana. I would pass the turn here and continue onwards. Things I want to clarify. Cost, like for stoneworking. In the cost, it has the generic mana. What that means is that you can spend any mana for it, right? You can spend, this cost 1 Earth and then 2 of any mana, whatever you want to choose. If they can also be Earth, they can be anything. I just had to take a little break to make sure I had everything ready. So once we finish our main phase here, right, we then just enter our end phase, where you can play treasures only. You can't play spells. Spells can't be played during your opponent's turn either, unless they're a triggered effect. This, I don't actually know. The Earth deck does have one. Let me find one just to show to you what kind of effects can be played during your opponent's turn. A card like Barbed Fencing, because it says during your opponent's turn when you reduce damage. The when part is important, because when means that's a triggered effect. So triggered spells in your hand can be activated on your opponent's turn. Everything else in your hand cannot. The only thing else that can be activated on your opponent's turn are treasures, but I don't have any at the moment in my hand, so there's nothing I can do on my opponent's turn. I'm out of mana personally, so I would pass the turn to my opponent. Whatever they would do on their turn, we'll just simulate that they do a turn that comes back to me. At the start of my turn, I always draw first, draw up to 7, and then I gain 2 mana, and it's always the same color. So I can't gain like 1 Earth, 1 Water. I have to gain 2 Earth, or 2 Water. In this case, I would have a full hand of 7 now, and I'll just continue playing on. If I would deal damage to my opponent, like through a card like Stone Fist here, if I were to trigger Stone Fist and hit them for any amount of damage, I guess, because it's not a set number, and they are forced to draw a treasure, or if they were to hit me and I'm forced to draw a treasure, it would just go into my hand, and then when I play it, it would enter the destroy pile. That is pretty much the gist. I will be in the Discord helping anybody and everyone who needs help with this, but as of now, best of luck, and thank you so much for helping me through this journey.